Hello, everybody. I am gonna wait a second for people to come and join me. Going live on Instagram as well. There we go. Hello, land of social media land. So fun to be able to go live on lots of places. I'm on YouTube. I'm on I don't know, 3 or 4 places on Facebook and Instagram. You can see me everywhere. So, hello, Parisa. Hello, everybody. Hello, world. Happy New Year. It feels like we're kind of things are picking up speed. At least for me, they are after the holidays. And I'm excited. I'm excited for this year. Is anybody excited for 2024? I am super, super excited for this year. Feels to me like I was just thinking about in my world, there was I was like 2023 was kind of like a death year. There was a lot of stuff that kind of died off. And sometimes that's not like the easiest thing, the easiest process. But hey Ursa, how are you, honey? But yeah, I was like, wow. But sometimes we have to really let go of stuff in order to have a different reality and have more of what we know we would like to have. And I think sometimes we don't even know really what we are asking for, what we would like to have. And one of the things that really gets in the way of that is people. Why are there so many people? Why do there have to be so many people? But we orient toward so many people, and we orient toward the structures of reality and all these things that are not actually relevant to us. And we orient towards people's points of views, what people want us to do, what they don't want us to do. And, you can look at family. I mean, everybody, most people spend a lot of time with family over the holidays. So maybe there's some of that going on with family, coworkers, peers, friends, whatever it may be. But everybody loves to have a point of view about what we're choosing. And what if that is not relevant to you? And that's one of the things that I remember. Actually, I a long time ago I put this post up that got taken down. That was something about how what if other people's points of view are none of your business? And I was actually told, this was way before all the censorship started, and that the era of censorship. This was maybe 5 years ago or more. And it was, I got taken down because it violated community standards, actually, to say that, maybe I shouldn't even say that on a live, it's not gonna let anybody know that I'm live now. Because saying that other people's points of view and judgments were none of your business is actually like a violation of the rules of reality. But the thing is that we can't please everybody. Have you noticed that? You can't please everybody. You will never be able to please everybody. You probably can't please most people. You can't really actually please anybody, because that's not how it works. We have to choose for ourselves. If we would like to be happy, we need to choose to be happy. If we would like to have a certain reality, with whatever it may be in our lives, we have got to choose it, and you can't choose for other people. And what you choose and don't choose is also not going to make or break somebody else's happiness. It may, lessen their judgments of you a little bit. So how many of you adjust yourselves? One of the phrases we use in Access Consciousness that I love is bend, fold, staple, and mutilate yourself, and your choices to try to accommodate, to try to actually mitigate other people's judgments, like to actually try to make them less, to try to handle other people's judgments before they even come your way, of you, you know, and that's a failing game, and it doesn't work. And but so it's sort of like the choices are, um, I mean, we think the choices are either like give up ourselves and make other people happy, or, don't give ourselves up and don't have anybody in our lives or have nothing in our lives. But that's a kind of a big lie. There's a whole other space that becomes available when you start to really have the freedom of like having your own back, really, and knowing what's true for you and what you would like to create. And a lot of what that is actually the space of being needless, which is a word that I love, that was coined, I would say, by Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, when he did my very favorite telecall series ever, probably 7 or 8 years ago, called The Lady, The Elegance of Needless. And this series was absolutely world changing for me, because as soon as I, started to, like, as soon as I saw the call and I was like, I'm going to do that call for sure. And it turned into 9 calls. And then there was like a 3-part call afterwards on silence, which was really powerful. And I did all 12 of them, and I was like, devoured them. And I've listened to them again and again. And one of the things that really became apparent to me is that being needless is, it's an energy that we can choose. And you can't be needless. What does it mean to even be needless? Well, it means to actually means to not have a point of view, about anything. Because if you don't have a point of view about how something shows up, if it shows up, how people react to you, how they judge you, if they judge you, all of that stuff, if you don't have a point of view about any of it, you don't have like a certain agenda with it, then you have the freedom to choose anything that you would like to choose. And most people don't give themselves that freedom because they're very busy with other people's stuff. So they don't give themselves the freedom to be needless, because they're very concerned about other people and how other people respond. And B, I mean, one of the things that people use need for is because they actually believe that the energy of need is a creative energy. And it isn't. It's not actually. I mean, it creates something, but not if you're asking for a greater life. I guarantee you it will not create that. The energy of need is a lie to you. And especially when we look at ourselves as infinite beings, which I love to play with a lot, is if you see yourself as an infinite being doesn't have needs. An infinite being is totally cared for. And even with bodies and being on the earth and having, like we could say we have need for shelter and food and stuff. But, if you didn't, I mean, there's plenty of people that don't have that. They're still alive, and I look at that and I'm like, if I didn't have shelter and food and all that, I would still create something, I'd create it, and if you know that about yourself, like if everything went away, what would you do? Well, I know I would create. I'd just be like, all right, well, I need to find myself some clothes, some shelter, some food, I'd get to work creating it. And if you know that's true for you, then you don't actually have need. But it's this need is this thing that we use to try to force ourselves into creative possibilities. But need it comes from the point of view of lack, which also doesn't, like, if we look at forcing possibilities, you can't force possibilities. You can ask for them, you can choose them, you can facilitate them, you can allow them, you can receive them, but you can't force possibility. So you can either function from need, the lie of lack, the lie of being finite, or you can function from this space of knowing that you have the capacity to choose anything that you desire to choose, and you're also the creator of your life and of your reality. And when it comes to all the points of view of other people that we busy ourselves with, it doesn't really when we get into that space where we really trust ourselves as the creators of our reality, other people become a gift and a contribution, something that we could choose or not choose. Like other people, we don't need other people. Basically, we get out of the need of other people. And have you ever had somebody need you or need you to judge them, like need you to not judge them or need you to judge them in a certain way or whatever, like need you to respond in a certain way? How's that gone? How's that worked? That doesn't really work. I mean, it does something again, but when someone needs us to do something, be something, usually our response is nope. Like I'm not, no thanks. I can't be your person for that, Um, and and yeah, Astrid says like a lack for the next moment. Every step you put your feet inside the slack. Yeah, the more you lack, the more you lack. The more you need, the more you lack. But when you're engaging with other people and you're like because that whole thing of like if somebody needs you to do something or be something, and you like that's gonna guarantee that you're not gonna do that or be that. But when you have choice, it's a different story, And so when we get out of the need of like, I need to be approved of, I need to be liked, I need to be, seen in a certain light, I need people to, if you own a business or you're, a creator in some way, I need people to engage with my business. I need money, right? All those things. That is all. Well, it's actually, this is a story for another time, but it is an abuse of you as a being, to function from the lie that you need. Because when you get out of that and you function from the glory of needless, the elegance of needless, the space of needless, the art of needless, everything becomes choosable. Everything becomes available to you. Everything becomes possible. And I tell you, there is so much freedom in that space. And this is something that I have really, since I took those lady calls that I referred to, whenever that was 7-8 years ago, I really I've been playing dynamically with these energies ever since. And um, I'm so grateful because what I see is like the less I need, the less I tell myself the lie of need, the story of need, the more I be that space of needless, the more different I be, which is actually quite fun. Like a lot of times we avoid that because we don't want to be so different. We avoid being different because of all that it brings, all the repercussions we've decided, we will face. But I tell you, there's so much freedom because you actually get to contribute to people, and you actually get to contribute to people, period. If you're running around needing things from people, then you cannot be a contribution to them. And they may have a different point of view about that, but you can't busy yourself with that if you're going to choose this space, because everybody will have a point of view about everything. That's quite honestly none of your business. But you can recognize that you can be a greater energy, a different energy, the art and the elegance of needless, and the space of that and the possibility of that, and the choice of that allows you to function from contribution, from true contribution to other people, including to yourself. And this is also where money comes into your world, where your business begins to grow in a different way, where everything that you would just like to have because you would like to have it, not because you need it, but because it would just be fun to have, begins to show up. Need pushes everything out of your life. Everything. It pushes whatever you decided you need, you are pushing it out of your life. So I would highly recommend to go after that energy, to take it, to clear it, to get rid of it, to delete it from your world, because everything you think you need, you're pushing it actively, dynamically out of your life. When you be needless, you invite everything in to your life, including money, including cool people, including people that actually contribute to you, people that you can actually contribute to, different possibilities, new possibilities. I mean, there's everything. Everything becomes available with that. And you truly do have the freedom to choose, and to choose what you would like to create, and to have choice as a reality. Choice is a creative possibility and a reality for you. And that is a very, very different space to create from, and one that is really fun. It's like, that's where the fun begins, really. So tomorrow, I am starting a 3-part telecall on that is actually called the art and elegance of being needless. And we are going to explore. This is like just the beginning. Oh, Astrid, I'm going to bed with you. Yay. That's awesome. Snuggling up with you. But yeah. So tomorrow we start the art and elegance of being needless. Really, I'm so excited to explore this conversation. There's so much available with this now that there has not been before. And it is the beginning of the 6-month generative business pods that I do, which is an amazing deep and wide and wonderful dive into creation, into the art of creation, the beauty of creation, the choice of creation, the ease of creation. And this particular round of the generative business pods, the topic is engaging the elementals. And the elementals are the energetic building blocks of what I would say is miraculous creation, magical creation, and a totally different space of creation that is about the energetics of creation, which is way more what's true for most of us. If you're listening to this and you're drawn to these conversations, probably your reality is far more energetic than anything. But that's the good news, and one of the things that we don't, I've been seeing this for myself is because my classes always facilitate me before they start. So I've already started both of these classes in my own world, and it's been really cool. But they there's a we really lean on kind of how we've seen things work in this reality, but the funny thing is they don't really work. That's the really funny thing. And especially for the seekers of the world, the structures of things are not actually that effective. But we're like, okay, well, apparently this is how it works. So I guess I'm going to have to do it like this, but while totally negating our own creative reality, which is an energetic, magical, miraculous reality where you create as the energy of you with the energy of your being, and you stimulate all kinds of possibilities, and your choice is what wakes up universes, and things actualize magically, miraculously, without us even trying. And if that has a lightness to you, that may be closer to what is true about your reality with creation. But how much have you given that up to kind of do things the predictable way. And how has that really worked for you? And for me, this is something I see more and more all the time, is where I go, you know what, all this predictable stuff, the predictability of creation that I've been leaning on my whole life and gradually making my way out of into my own reality. It's like I've been even recently seeing like, wow, this is still there. There's still these places where I still believe in the structures of reality, and and where I do that, I give up the magical capacity for creative possibilities that I be. And when we function from that space, we function from we stop debilitating ourselves by doing something that isn't true for us, and we start giving ourselves the ability to actually truly create in the way that is the most effective and elegant for us. And that is an energetic space, receiving the contribution of the universe and all the elements of the universe that are here to contribute to a greater world. And if you're asking for a greater world, there's a lot that is going to contribute to that, but you have to be willing to function from that and receive it. And one of the places where we can start is by undoing those lies of need. And so that's why the Art and Elegance of Being Needless is the beginning of the Generative Business Pods, is because I want to like lop off a bunch of that stuff before we start on this journey of engagement of the elementals for 6 months, a 6-month deep dive into your reality with miraculous creation is really what it's going to be. And so they're both available. The Art and Elegance of Being Needless starts tomorrow, Monday, January 8th. We go 8, 9, 10 of January. I don't remember the time. It's something around 1 o'clock Mountain Time, 9 o'clock Europe time, I think is what it is. And it'll be for an hour each day. There will be recordings. So if you see this after the fact, it'll still be available, in the shop or whatever. And that is a lead-in to the Generative Business Pods that starts January 22nd. And it is included in the Business Pods. So if you're like, I'm in, then sign up for the Business Pods, because that'll give you all of it. And as well as a call I did a couple of weeks ago on clarity. But if you want to do the Needless call, you can do the Needless call. And then if you want to jump into the Business Pods after that, we just give you a discount off of what you already paid. So anyway, it's going to be freaking amazing. I am so excited for this. I have never been so excited for creation before. Magic and miraculousness. It's here. It's available. It's ours. It's yours. It's mine. We've got this. Let's freaking go. Let's do it. You can find all of it on heathernichols.com. See you there. Thanks for hanging with me, everybody. Bye for now.